like to play the guitar. Take your money home in a jar from a coffee house or a bar. Or would you rather get a job? A job is the thing that makes us get out of bed. You work every day until you're dead. Your back is breaking, your brain is dumb. You just can't wait till the weekend comes. And if you don't like to beg or steal and rob, you probably have to get a job. 'Cause all the monkeys aren't in the zoo. They can be trained to play guitar too. Some a whole lot better than you. And even if you don't go far, you could be worse off than you are. At least you're playing the guitar. Alright, one little flub there at the end. Well, there was more than a flub. Yeah, I don't know about how this camera's working out. It's not a very wide angle. And I don't know how to get it in the center. Or nothing. But anyway. That's a little ditty. Those words are by a fellow by the name of Pat Donahue, who used to be the guitar player on a thing called Prairie Home Companion with Garrison Keillor, who somehow got himself into a whole mess of kind of trouble somehow. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry about this. I just can't seem to figure it out. But playing the guitar, you know, there's been a lot of YouTube discussion about, you know, can you play the guitar? Can you not play the guitar? Can you not play the guitar and talk about gear? Can you play the guitar and not know anything about gear? Can you be a virtuoso and be a genius when it comes to gear? All those things are true. You could be all of them. A lot of the tens of people that probably watch these videos now don't know about what I used to post and play way back when I did, you know, everything was rock and roll, electrified. And then a few years ago, and it wasn't an overnight thing because I've always played the acoustic guitar. Ever since I started playing guitar, I've played the acoustic guitar. I remember a time in high school where I had a girlfriend. I found an old, I believe it was a Stella, and the name had just like rubbed off the headstock. It was in such bad shape. A guitar in her garage, stuffed behind a workbench with two rusty strings on it, the D and the G. And I asked her if I could have it, and she said yes, and I took that thing home. That guitar actually had this big, thick V-neck and was like a parlor-shaped guitar. The top was separating from the body a little bit, and I glued it with just some Elmer's glue. And I put some strings on it and played that guitar for a long time and learned Beatles songs on it. And I had an electric guitar at that time, but I wanted an acoustic. But anyway, I digress. It doesn't matter what your level of ability on the guitar is. There's nothing wrong with putting it out on, you know, in a video for people to see it, for people to talk about it. One of the best ways to learn is to record yourself playing and watch it back. because you see things like, oh, I could have done that better, I could have done this better, I need to work on this or that. We didn't have that back then. And a lot of times, I didn't even get feedback because when I would play the guitar around a lot of my friends, I would just lose their attention right away. A lot of them, most of them, they didn't play guitar and they weren't interested in the Beatles song that I was learning. And you would lose their attention. So you really didn't get much feedback. They'd just go, oh, yeah, that's cool, whatever. Or, can you play this or that? And, I had a few friends that actually would sit and listen and go, wow. Because they had attempted at one point in their life to play the guitar and had totally abandoned it for something else, whether it be working on cars and engines or riding dirt bikes or whatever it is they went and did. They gave up trying to be a guitar player while I sat in my room with a guitar learning how to play, earring stuff out from records, tapes, whatever, out of the books, the fake books. I used to buy the fake books from the music store. That's how I learned my chords. Those little chord diagrams that with the little dots on the string, and that's how I learned my chords in the beginning. That's how I learned to do it. So there's no reason for someone not to record themselves and put it on YouTube. If someone's gonna shit on it, well, that's what they're gonna do. Get a thick skin, and that's another thing. If you've spent any time as a live musician playing in a band, doing it week after week, night after night, if you can't take people not paying attention or people not liking what you're doing at the moment or people criticizing you, it's not for you. You got to take the bad with the good. You've got to be ready for when people don't like it. And so this stuff about the getting the rough comments and stuff, don't worry about it. Blow it off. Keep playing. Now, the last video I did, I unlisted it and moved it over to Patreon. If you've already watched the video, you could probably find it again because somewhere in your history or whatever, it would be there. But if you've never seen it, you'll have to go to Patreon to look for it. Now, there's going to be more to the story over on Patreon. It's usually the other way around. Usually you put it on Patreon first and let your patrons see it. Then you shift it to YouTube later. That's the normal way. Well, the last couple videos that I made that I thought were... And that video was doing pretty good. It was doing better than most videos that I've put out lately. But I decided it did its thing, and I put it over on Patreon for you to go look at over there. So we could really use the help. Sometimes you think everything's rosy and cool, and it's not always, and sometimes it is nice to be able to generate some kind of income aside from everything else you do. We've been prevented from playing out a lot recently, and I can talk about more about that over on Patreon. But playing the guitar, man. Would you like to play the guitar? There's more. Would you like to play the guitar? Drive for miles and miles in your car and pretend that you're a big star. Or would you rather book the gig? The agent is the guy who gets his 20%. That's not exactly what he meant. He'll clean you out in ways you never thought, because he's good at business and he knows you're not. And then he'll sue if you finally make it big, cause he's the guy that booked the gig. There's more to the song, and what that is Bing Crosby's "Would you like to swing on a star? Da da da, carry moonbeams home in a jar." That's what that song is taken from. And so I'm rambling now. So just post your stuff playing. Play it the way you like to play it. If people don't like it, too bad for them. You know, they're the ones missing out, not you. You don't have to. Well, the point of entertaining is to try to please people, but you're really not obligated, okay? So that's my video. Go check it out on Patreon and Patreon. And I'll see you in the next one.